Alrighty, good day everyone, it's Alfred here. We got a question from this group which is a member is asking about his health. The question is, if I have surgery, will my injuries start to improve and will that improve my quality of life? So this person who posted the question has actually got in touch with me before. He is asking me how to formulate the question. So I told him how to set a protocol including the hexagram type that's going to be appear in the hexagram. I'm not sure why he didn't put it into the setting over here. I remember I told him to do that when posting to the group. However, this turned to become a topic for everyone to learn, especially to my students. Now let me explain what makes people reading the wrong answer. Before he started the casting, the setting that I gave him is officer line as sickness and the medical as offspring line. Now I want to show you what happens if never goes with the protocol when we do the reading. Alright, first thing first, we have to understand that the setting is important. Like in this question, if he never does the setting and simply throw the question, it will end up be a guessing game. You see, one of the members replied that officer line is at the Lee trigrams, and he asked that, is this current getting a problem from his eye or heart? Because Lee trigrams represents eye or heart. And from the reply, we can again see that the current says no, it wasn't a problem. And you see, this is the common mistake done by many people who learn I Ching. And that is also the reason why people say King 1 Oracle cannot be very accurate. The person who did a reply should actually inspect what is the setting that this current has made. We should always inspect how he structured the hexagram type. If we never understand this prior we do any reading, it will always become inaccurate. And also, this is the same practice that we need to do before we throw the coins. It doesn't matter you are using Wang or any kinds of I Ching divination. You need to always do the setting before you throw out the coins. This is the very first step we need to do before we do any kinds of I Ching reading. Now the second problem for this reading is we shouldn't use the trigrams as for the sickness reading. The first reason is I never set the trigrams to be as sickness. So if I never set the trigrams and you read it with trigrams, it will definitely become an error. Now why it will become an error if you read it without following the protocol? So this will take too long time to explain, but those who are my students should understand this reason very well. So to conclude, we need to ask how the diviner set the hexagram before you answer to the question, or else you will not be able to get a perfect accuracy rate. Now the next question is, using the trigrams to read on a sickness is something very rough. We are not supposed to read a sickness from trigrams. I mean, we still can do that if you don't mind your reading is not reliable. You see, nearly all the public resources, including books or from the internet or how the traditional way are showing to us regarding the images of the trigrams that relate to our body parts. All the resources is telling us how to use the trigrams for body part reading. Now, if we follow that, you will always find that the hexagram reading is not reliable. Sometimes it can be accurate and sometimes it can't be. Now let me explain to you why this is happening and why I don't recommend to use a trigrams to read for sickness. The reason for this is actually pretty straightforward. You see, when we search from the internet or flip from any books regarding trigrams, we will get a summary table something like this. But many people don't actually realize that this table is having a big problem. Now let me ask you, you see from all the body parts here, what if I wanted to tell you that someone's chest will be having a problem or someone will be getting a breast cancer? How can a hexagram show you the answer if someone is having all of this problem or any of this problem, or even you got problems with your spine? Are there any trigrams from here shows that about these images? So from the 8 trigrams table, we can't see anything stated that called chest or breast or spine. So you see, if you cast for the hexagram and you refer back to this table, do you think that the outcome is going to be accurate? You will only be accurate if the sickness is also coincidentally appear in this table. Now listen carefully, I said coincidentally. And this coincidentally will be only get fulfilled when I have to set the protocol as reading the sickness with the trigrams. And if I never set the trigrams for sickness, this coincidentally will never be happen. and you will always get the wrong answer. So if you want to read the hexagram accurately, first is you need to set the protocol. And the second is the protocol cannot be incomplete. Just like these signals on the trigrams, some body parts disappear from the trigrams. So this accuracy is already reduced before you even throw the coins. You see, I just simply take a few examples and it is already shows that the hexagram cannot be answered in such way. That is why we need to understand that using a trigrams, or at least the ordinary trigrams to make a reading on signals, is something incomplete. Now we come back to the first problem. Regarding the setting, we have to understand that the hexagram did not use the trigrams for signals. So if we read the signals from the trigrams without the setting of the hexagram, if you read the signals of the trigrams without the setting to the trigrams, it would definitely become inaccurate, because the trigrams will not be having any messages related to the body part since it wasn't set before. It means the trigrams is an empty, because we never endow anything to the casting. So we have to always understand how a diviner set to the hexagram type. And regarding how to do the proper setting, it will be taking a very long time to explain. So I will not be explaining anything over here. I'd also hope this video is going to make our students who have taken on my course understand more about this concept. Now let's see what is happening with this hexagram. This is the hexagram that he posted on the group, and I have to change the hexagram plotter that we are practice, as our plotter has more info that we can read from. Please be reminded that if any person would like to get a reading from my groups, get this plotter and post it over the groups. It is the bright hole that ended with /3. So remember, the end here is /3. So this is the hexagram that he got. He got a static hexagram, which means the illness will not really able to get removed. And basically, it means remaining the same. One of the members who answering this getting the point, but this doesn't mean that we have nothing else to read. First of all, we can see that the object line is holding officer line. And this means that the surgeon is not really ideal in this surgery. I'm not sure have you already assigned to a specific surgeon by your own or by the hospital. If you already get someone appointed, I suggest you to change to another surgeon. And it is very clear that this surgeon will not be able to remove your sickness, and it could possibly make it more worse. Then the second thing is the offspring line that is in the hidden moving, and it is holding with tortoise and also holding with the nobleman. So this means that there is a doctor or a treatment that can help with this matter. But this doctor is not easy to find. Or at least if you keep looking for the doctor with your current method, this doctor that able to heal you won't be appear in your life. So now, how should we find the doctor? Where can we find him? So regarding this, we need to use a technique called hidden truth. So I will not be explaining too much over here as this is not a topic in this video. And of course, there is also something to read from the self-line, but it will again taking too long time to explain. So in this video, I just want to let you guys know that we can't read any person hexagram without understanding what is his protocol. And if we read the trigrams with an incomplete images, the accuracy will definitely get reduced.